Y'all, buckle up, because this isn't just a breakup, it's a full-on disaster unfolding live. What seemed like a flawless fairytale romance between Brandon Ingram and GloRilla has blown up into one of the nastiest internet scandals of the year. And trust me, the truth coming out is way darker than anyone imagined, because beneath the smiles, the public devotion, the ride-or-die persona, lurked secrets, and not the cute kind. Sources now say that while GloRilla publicly supported Brandon, she was allegedly juggling a double life with Gotti. But wait, it doesn't end at a secret fling. Rumors claim it sparked a pregnancy. The instant that whisper hit, everything imploded. Sudden outfit changes, suspicious clips, a body that didn't match the story, and fans connecting dots that were never supposed to connect. And here's the kicker. Insiders claim Brandon didn't just stumble upon this. He was confronted straight up. No hints, no PR spin, just raw, undeniable betrayal. Seconds later, it was done. No engagement, no wedding, just a savage exit and public humiliation still unfolding. And the ultimate bombshell. Gotti allegedly steps up, claiming the baby. If that's true, this isn't cheating. This is strategic, calculated, and utterly ruthless. Now, with Angela Simmons tossing cryptic shade into the mess, the internet can't stop asking, was this real love or a full-blown setup from day one? At this point, y'all thought that opener was wild. That, my friends, was just the tip of the iceberg. What comes next? That's when the whole thing unravels. Because even before the alleged pregnancy, before the whispers, before the internet even had a clue, GloRilla was nailing her part perfectly. She wasn't just spotted with Brandon Ingram. She was parading him publicly, loudly tweaking lyrics in her shows, moving differently, talking like a woman who had already staked her claim on the future. It looked airtight, calculated, almost suspiciously flawless. And that's why nobody blinked. But behind that glossy facade, something felt off. While Brandon was being framed as the one, Gotti was making moves that screamed more than a simple mentor-mentee or business deal. This was personal. We're talking gifts that made zero sense on paper. A luxury Maybach, not subtle, not quiet, loud, pricey, deliberate. Then a $65,000 diamond watch slapped on her wrist like a headline. Not for the masses, but for anyone paying attention. And trust me, people were watching. Because Gotti wasn't acting like some CEO backing talent. He was acting like a man with a personal stake. Showing up at events, standing way too close, celebrating her like this was more than just music. And that's when the whispers kicked in. At first, tiny comments, vague speculation, fans spotting patterns that didn't fit. Why her? Why this kind of attention? Why did it all feel staged? Then the shift hit. Suddenly, GloRilla's look changed. Tight outfits vanished. The confident body she flaunted, gone, replaced with oversized layers, baggy fits, anything to obscure the frame. That's when the internet went into overdrive. Because when someone who built their brand on confidence suddenly starts hiding, people notice. Then came the clip. No announcement, no statement, just her dancing, smiling, but her body telling a totally different tale. Subtle to some, obvious to others. Within hours, the comments blew up. Wait, is she pregnant? Why the cover-up? Something's off. And just like that, the storyline cracked open. But the real drama? That wasn't online. It was happening behind closed doors.
Did it? Hey, that dude, that one did it! Hey! He didn't do that one, did he? Got it? Hey, stop playing! What, bitch? I'm Maybach shouting now. Ho, talk to me nice. Talk to me nice, ho!
Because while fans were busy connecting the dots from the sidelines, insiders say the pressure was boiling behind the scenes. Conversations were happening, questions being thrown, and GloRilla, allegedly, wanted to control the chaos before it blew up. Sources claim she pushed hard for something serious, rapid marriage talks, commitment, a ring, all before the rumors even confirmed themselves, before the timeline exposed the truth. Because if there really was a baby, she didn't want to be just another story. She wanted security, a title, Brandon to make it official. But what she didn't expect, everything collapsing before she could lock it down. Somewhere in the middle of this, the truth didn't just leak, it hit Brandon Ingram directly. And once it landed, there was no turning back. This is where rumors stop and damage control begins. According to multiple insiders, Brandon didn't just hear whispers, he was confronted straight up. No vague screenshots, no fan theories. Personal, immediate, impossible to ignore. The kind of info that leaves no room for denial. Every public appearance, every lyric tweak, every loyalty display suddenly felt staged. And at the heart of it, Gotti. Allegedly, he wasn't just involved, he was done hiding, done watching from the sidelines while another man took center stage in a drama he might have helped orchestrate. So what did he do? He stepped forward. Not quietly, not subtly, directly. Sources say whatever was happening wasn't casual, wasn't one time. It was ongoing, repeated, serious enough that consequences couldn't be hidden anymore. And that's when the timeline shattered. Gifts, appearances, late-night rumors, sudden image changes, all converging into one story. And for Brandon, that story didn't include him the way he thought. Imagine realizing while you were being publicly claimed, another reality was unfolding simultaneously, loyalty split, trust divided between two worlds. That isn't confusion. That's betrayal. Insiders say his reaction wasn't dramatic. It was cold, calculated, final. No drawn-out fights, no public scenes, just an immediate, irreversible decision. He walked away just like that. And in doing so, he didn't just end a relationship. He left GloRilla standing smack in the middle of a storm she couldn't possibly control. Because when Brandon stepped back, the whole narrative flipped. Suddenly, it wasn't about a couple, it was about a full-blown scandal. And at the core of it, the question nobody could answer neatly, who's the father? While GloRilla allegedly scrambled to salvage what remained, trying to stabilize the story before total collapse, Gotti's name kept getting louder, bolder, impossible to ignore. Rumors surfaced that he wasn't just involved, he was claiming responsibility. That baby, the one everyone was whispering about, might actually be his. And if that's true, everything shifts. This isn't just cheating anymore, it's about timing, intent, and straight-up strategy. One man thinking he's building a future, while another is already living a secret reality. Someone knew far more than they were letting on. And here's where it gets messy. Whispers suggested this wasn't random chaos. It was calculated. One relationship staged for the public, another maintained behind closed doors. Decisions weren't just emotional, they were tactical. And now, as everything unravels simultaneously, there's no clean exit. Every move is scrutinized, every silence dissected, every past moment replayed under a new lens. But just when it seemed like the drama couldn't escalate, another name slipped back into the chaos. Quiet at first, then impossible to ignore, Angela Simmons. And what she did next didn't just stir noise, it added weight. Not a statement, not an interview, just silence louder than any words. Because Angela didn't need to explain, her history with Gotti spoke volumes. A man who publicly chased her for years, loudly declaring she was the one. He flaunted her, praised her, positioned their relationship like it was solid, grounded, real, and she bought it. She stood by him, supported him, even described him as someone who inspired her, someone who made her better. But while that public image was carefully crafted, a whole different story was brewing in private. Because if the rumors hold even a shred of truth, while Gotti was building a future with Angela Simmons, he was simultaneously weaving a secret world with GloRilla. And not just her, whispers in multiple cities, quiet appearances that never hit headlines, leaving breadcrumbs sharp enough for insiders to spot inconsistencies. Angela stayed silent. No online rants, no dramatic scenes. But insiders say she noticed the shift, late replies, energy changes, subtle distance that only surfaces when attention drifts elsewhere. Then came the realization, not one explosive moment, but a series of awakenings that led to one choice. She walked away. No drama, no public meltdown, just a quiet exit from a story that no longer made sense. Fast forward to now, everything she suspected is exploding live. Brandon Ingram steps back, Gotti's alleged baby claims grow louder, and suddenly Angela's past with him is part of the bigger puzzle. That cryptic post, "I want what wants me in life. What flows, flows. What goes, goes," wasn't random. It was targeted, calculated, like someone already knew the ending. And that's why this isn't just gossip anymore. It's not about who cheated or who left. It's about how long this secret spiral went unnoticed. A public relationship that looked flawless. A private affair escalating behind the scenes. Luxury gifts blurring lines. Sudden shifts in behavior. A possible pregnancy. 3 people, same timeline, entirely different realities. That's not coincidence, that's overlap. And overlap creates casualties. GloRilla is now smack in the center, facing questions she can't answer without revealing something bigger. Every move dissected. Every post, every appearance under a microscope. The internet isn't just watching, it's waiting. Waiting for confirmation, waiting for denial, waiting for someone to break silence. But the harsh truth, even if the truth drops, it may not matter. Reputations are altered, perceptions already warped, and the damage is done. And lurking through all this is the question that won't fade. Not just who's the father, but who knew first and stayed silent. Everything now dangles by a thread, the silence louder than ever. No clear denial, no clean explanation, just tension ratcheting up every hour as the internet digs, connects forbidden dots, and the deeper people look, the messier it all gets. GloRilla is no longer just facing rumors. She's standing in the middle of a narrative that's spiraling out of control. Every move she makes now feels calculated. Every appearance raises more questions than answers, and the biggest one still remains untouched. If the baby isn't Brandon Ingram's, then why was he being positioned as the future? And if Gotti is telling the truth, then how long has this really been going on behind the scenes? Because this doesn't look accidental anymore. It looks planned. It looks like timelines were crossed, stories were managed, and emotions were used as leverage until everything finally collapsed at once. And now there's no controlling it, no rewriting it, no escaping it. Meanwhile, Angela Simmons already walked away before the explosion. And that alone is raising even more suspicions about what she might have known long before the public caught on. This isn't just messy. This is a reputational breakdown happening in real time. And here's the part nobody wants to admit. The truth is already out there, just not fully spoken. Yet. So the real question is no longer what happened. It's who's going to break first and say it out loud. Because when that happens, this entire story won't just go viral. It will detonate.